lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go, Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports.
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recaps, Predictions, Sports. Let go.
What's going on, everybody? It's the EVP from the EVP Show, and we are live for your NXT Recap. Tuesday, April 28, 2026. Just give me a few seconds while I get everything situated. Getting it tweeted out that I'm live, so thank you guys for joining me. Hope you guys have a good Tuesday. So, yeah, we are live for your NXT recap. Oh, crap, I didn't even tweet it out. Sorry, guys. It's been a long day. Just 1 second, guys. I do apologize. I am running a little bit late. Sorry. But I'm off tomorrow, so it'll be okay. I'll go over a little bit. I definitely want to do a shout out to everybody. Like I said, I was texting Miami earlier. You guys are just phenomenal. You know, I went into LFG. I started season 1, and I think I did like 5 or 6 episodes, and then a couple of season 2. Definitely never expect. I mean, I was looking forward to it. You know, I talked to Miami about it. You know, I like the show. I definitely like the way they haven't set up this season for sure. But I was going over my numbers today. And I had LFG was at like 112 YouTube views. So thank you guys so much for that. I mean, that's like, I think the most I've ever gotten is 200 or right at it, and that was WrestleMania Prediction Show. I've had quite a few in the hundreds. I mean, LFG beat out Raw. So I mean, I think I had close to 60 views last night on Raw. So, once again, thank you guys so much for the support for LFG. Hopefully, we can keep it up. That was just episode 1, but definitely a shout out to you guys, everybody, especially on Talk It Up podcast. Make sure you follow them on X and YouTube as well. They're the Talk It Up podcast X page, my X page, and then I had 100, and I believe it's 112 views on YouTube for episode 1 of LFG. So, I appreciate it so much. Thank you guys so much for that. And if you are watching live on YouTube tonight, or if you guys can watch live, please hit that like button. It does help me out. And I'm still at 220 subscribers. I'm gonna give it Miami Friday and see on something maybe I can do. And like I said, my 1 year of my channel being open will be in August. So I definitely want to try to plan like some sort of show. We don't necessarily have to talk about wrestling. What's up, Stampede? Good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. I was just yes, really solid NXT show tonight. It always is. I mean, it's not always, but most of the time it is. I was just, you know, giving everybody, you know, their flowers. Obviously, you know, like I said, going into LFG, I didn't really expect a whole lot. I thought the views would be down, because they were down before, but 112 views on my first recap show, just incredible. So shout out to you guys for that. I definitely appreciate it. It beat SmackDown last week at like 99 views. Raw was, I think, called it like 55 or something last night. I mean, I've had several Raws in the upper hundreds, but it's definitely number one show right now. As far as YouTube views, so hopefully we can keep that trend up, continue it. NXT's been doing pretty solid. The numbers have been rising, so definitely happy. And thank you guys. It's ultimately up to you guys. Um, but if you are watching this show live on YouTube, like I said, please hit that like button. It helps me out, helps my channel out. And Stampede, I will be getting in touch with you tomorrow because I'm gonna bring it up in a meeting Friday with Miami about maybe what the possibilities are with the AEW, you know, and see how we can work it. As far as TNA, because I'm not like 100% committed to still doing a TNA show. So or we'll see. We'll talk. Me and y'all talk tomorrow. And then I was kind of running by Miami. When we have our meeting Friday. But yeah. Shouts out to the new two new members of WWE. Make sure you tune into. I don't know his name, and I do apologize. I'm terrible with names, but he's with Body Slam. He will be part of the Backlash Prediction Show panel here on the EVP show. So looking forward to that. But he also has a show tomorrow himself. So make sure you guys tune into that. And then shout out to Kyle, the man Anthony. I've worked with him a long time with a different company. So glad to have him over here on the good side. So, and Stampede also will be on the Backlash Prediction Show panel. As always, Stampede, I think this will be either his fourth or fifth prediction show. And there's 3 PLEs coming up. So, quick announcement before we get into the NXT recap. Next Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, live here on the EVP show. We will have a 10-person panel, and 1 person in the comments for the Backlash Prediction show. So yeah, it's a great start to the PLEs in the month of May. What's going on, Bobby? I missed you on Scoops. I didn't see you on Sunday night Scoops. You missed a really good episode, I feel like. It was 2 hours and 40 minutes long. A lot of questions, like 114 questions, something like that. So just tell them you want day pass with Stampede. Yeah, I mean, they're cool. That'd be cool with whatever, me and you just gotta figure out, schedule, and because, I have to everybody else has their own schedule too. And like I said, Thursdays is kind of like a day, where I'm doing TNA, but I'm not really that. I mean, I do it, but it's not really like raking in the numbers for me or anything like that. So, it definitely could be moved or changed to AEW or something. I don't know. We'll talk tomorrow. Like I said, I know you said you want to have a call tomorrow, so I'll definitely hit you up. But yeah, thank you, Bobby, for hitting the like button. And thank you guys for the LFG. Like, I'm blown away. 112 views on the first episode, less than an hour stream. So, thank you guys so much for that. NXT killed it tonight. I was really concerned, but obviously with the news that broke earlier that the CW network will be starting this summer, will be picking up all the NXT PLE live streams. So that's good. I think it's just kind of a thing where CW lost a lot of talent to the main roster. So, but the women's division is still strong as hell. And we got a lot of new people tonight. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to where NXT's headed. They're really good. So, A lot of them are really good people, really good, and they're going to be good. That EK Prosper is phenomenal. So thank you, Bobby, for liking the stream. You was hanging out family. Yeah, I get it. There's always so I don't know if you know, like obviously if you're a family, I do 2 shows now on Sunday. I do Scoops at 6 p.m. and then obviously LFG season 3 episode 2 will be coming up this Sunday. So looking forward to that. As episode 1 killed us, so thank you guys so much for that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started. Don't have a whole lot of views. I think there's another stream going on right now. But it's NXT, so my numbers fluctuate. And a lot of talents left, so we'll see what we can do. We're just gonna keep trucking no matter what. Good to see you back here in the stream though. But yeah, I'm gonna have try to remember everybody for the Backlash prediction show. I'm going to have Wrestling Fanatic from the one that comes in on Scoops and asks all the questions on Sundays. Gonna have Stampede, Carlos, Sean, Khaled, Nitro from WrestleMania. I'm trying to think who else. Am I leaving anybody? Lou, obviously from WWE. Caleb, and the guy that just joined up with WWE from BodySlam.net. So a full panel. And then Raymond will be in the comments. So probably be only 5 or 6 matches. So it's definitely not going to be a 2.5 hour, 3 hour stream. With that many with only that many matches. So, but we should have a pretty good bit of numbers. Obviously, I'm sure the guy from Body Slam is going to be posting it as well. So looking forward to it. Be fun times. We got a couple of new people coming on, and that's what it's all about. I'm going to try to do that. Obviously, keep the mains, a few 4, 5, 6 mainstays for the PLEs, and then try to see if I can find 1 or 2 each show that's never been on for predictions or whatever. But I like to keep my mainstays that want to keep coming back because it was so much easier for me to feel Backlash compared to WrestleMania. I mean, I literally put a post up in like a day and it was like filled up. So thank you guys for that. EK Prosper reminds me a little bit of Kevin Knight when he was starting in Japan. Yeah, EK is phenomenal. I'm trying to think. I remember the name Kevin Knight, but I don't. You just have to refresh my memory. Today has been a really, really long day. But EK Prosper is phenomenal. So let's go and get started. It's the NXT Recap Show live here on the EVP Show channel, Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. I was very concerned, like I said, going into tonight. I'm like, what can they do? Like, they lost Soruka, they lost JC Jane, they lost Fallon Henley, they lost Laney Reed, they lost Blake Monroe, they lost Joe Henry, they lost Ethan Page, and then tonight was the last match for Ricky Saints, and obviously he put Shiloh Hill over, which NXT is really big on Shiloh, so that's like 8, 9 people, and big stars. So, yeah, I was a little concerned what NXT was going to do, but I mean their women's division is still really strong. Hoping Rand isn't hurt. I don't know. I'll have to check after the show and see, but hopefully Rand Sinclair will be okay. I don't know if that was kayfabe or real, but kind of looked to me like it could have been like, like she might have landed on it wrong, but we'll see. Hopefully not. Hopefully she's okay. But tonight, WWE NXT is obviously from all the way from the Capitol Wrestling Center, WWE Performance Center in Orlando, Florida. We're going to see the WWE, and this guy's going to be called up here probably next year, I would think. obviously his girlfriend or fiance, whatever they are. Stephanie McCoy is on Raw. The NXT North American Champion Miles Bourne. He's going to be defending his title against Dark State, Saquon Sugar. Plus LFG Season 2 winner Shallow Hill with Shawn Michaels and NXT. WWE, they're very high on him. He's going to face the absolute Ricky Saints in a singles match, which is going to be what it was Ricky Saints' last match on NXT. So he will be debuting on SmackDown Friday. Kevin Knight is a AEW TNT champion, former AEW World Trios champion 2 times with Mike Bailey and Mystico, Jet Speed, IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team champion 2 times with Kushida. Interesting. Well, then that's high praise then if you're comparing him to Kevin Knight, EK Prosper for sure. So obviously we got the same ring announcers as always. Let's see what else we got. So we're gonna have a tag team match as well. Birthright. I know Stampede loves Birthright. I always pick on him about Birthright and Joe Henry. Miles Bourne has wrestlers coming after him left and right. Yep. It's an open door right now. It's like a bunch of sharks, like Keanu Carver says. So love it. Birthright, Shannon Stacks Lorenzo and Uriah Connors is going to face EK Prosper, who me and Stampede were just talking about, and Dorian Van Doo. Lizzie Rain, obviously making her much anticipated debut on NXT tonight. She's going to be going one-on-one with Nikita Lyons, shout out to Nikita Lyons, who just followed me on X. I love Nikita. She's also on on LFG as well. And then WWE NXT Tony D'Angelo issues a challenge. So it's basically the debut of someone that's been signed with WWE for a little while, and he made his appearance tonight. So the show opens up with a video package recapping the 2-week WWE NXT Revenge special. 2 good weeks of that, a lot of good matches. So yeah, that was good stuff. Vic Joseph and WWE Hall of Famer Booker T is always the announcer. They welcome us to the show, and we see Robert Stone with WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels, who basically runs NXT, and Matt Bloom. Matt Bloom is also someone that works with the talent on LFG. If you watched LFG episode 1, you saw a lot of Matt Bloom on there as well. Talking about the new call-ups for Raw and SmackDown, which I mentioned them all. I mean, I can count them out real quick. We got Sol Ruka, JC Jane, Fallon Henley, Laney Reed, Blake Monroe. There's 5 ladies right there. If I'm missing somebody, let me know. And then on the men's side, we got Joe Henry, Ethan Page, Ricky Saints. So that's 8 call-ups. It's a lot. So, and maybe 9. I don't know. Maybe missing somebody. But Shawn Michaels and Matt Bloom talking about the new call-ups for Raw and SmackDown. Robert Stone suggests giving people from WWE Evolve and LFG a chance, which we definitely seen that tonight. Shawn Michaels then tells Robert Stone he can put names on a board or make cards of the talent, or he can throw a stick of dynamite in the locker room and see who runs out. Shawn Michaels, love what he said there. So, yeah, good backstage segment. They kind of already adjust everything with the roster call-ups and everything. And Shawn Michaels just basically said, yeah, the doors open for all this new talent, or from people from Evolve, LFG, to come up to NXT and show what they can do. So it's I love that about NXT. It's just kind of next person up. I think the main roster needs to learn about that. I talked about that on Scoops. Like, what are we gonna do when all these big stars like Roman and Cody and Punk and Seth Rollins and all them retire, like you have to build up new stars. And NXT has done a phenomenal. Shawn Michaels and NXT has done a phenomenal job with that because no matter what, like you know, losing that much talent, and I mean, look at the names, like I mean, top tier names. I mean, majority of them are main roster ready before, so but NXT always adjusts well. So I do like that about NXT. The main roster should take notes. So Saquon Sugar makes his way down to the ring for the first match of the night, accompanied by Dark State, as he will be going one-on-one with the men's NXT North American champion Miles Bourne. As for the NXT North American Championship, and like I said, I talked about this on Scoots. I think it was the week before Mania, and maybe I touched on it a little bit Sunday. We're definitely headed for a Miles Bourne, maybe Saquon and Dion triple threat at some point. Like I said, there's a lot of new people that's going to be entering the fray, so they could change plans there, but there's a lot of dissension with Dark State right now, so definitely looking. I can definitely see that happen. I know that eventually coming soon, like Dion and Saquon are definitely going to be basically just doing single stuff, and then the other two will, be going after the tag titles and stuff. So the 2 hours of NXT usually feels like 1.5 hours, and the 2.5 hour Raw feels like 3.5 hours usually. Yes, I agree. So while we're on the topic of Raw, WWE, the main roster, obviously, SmackDown will be going back to 2 hours in the month of June, but I think people are kind of misunderstood. Obviously, was going to talk about it on Scoot, but I'll go ahead and talk about it a little bit. Braun Strowman's show, I don't know if you guys have watched it. Something about, I have never seen it, but it's something about like an eating show or something like that. But it was picked up for a second season. And then USA likes to have SmackDown for 3 hours. The prior 4 months to WrestleMania. So that's when Braun Strowman season 2 is going to start, I believe, either after SmackDown. So they are going to go back to 2 hours, but don't get comfortable with that 2 hours because it's going to fluctuate. It's going to end up going back to 3 hours. Once Braun Strowman's second season is over, look for USA to be like, all right, well, we want to go back to 3 hours. So we still got a whole another month of SmackDown being 3 hours. But with Blake Monroe coming up and Fatal Influence and Ricky Saints, hopefully we can get a little bit more spark to SmackDown. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do Friday. And I'm not going to lie, I said it, I'll say it again. Busted Open even said it. Several other big content creators said it, like JC Jane did it Friday. She had that Dominic Mysterio type heel, the booze and stuff. So I wasn't really super excited about Laney coming up. I thought she was a little early. But now that all three of them are up, and then they interfered in the tag match, and then obviously JC had to come out and, they did really good for to have JC come out and confront Rhea when she's the most over women's superstar in WWE. But JC commands the attention from the crowd, and that's what makes her so good. Is she can make the crowd hate her, and she's a credible heel, and she can actually wrestle too. So I mean, I'm not saying she's top 10 in the world or anything like that, but she can wrestle. So she's better than half the main roster right now, and damn sure better than half the main roster on the mic. So shout out to JC Jane, Fallon Henley, and Laney Reed. I don't think Fallon and Laney are going to get away from JC. I think they'll be a faction for a while. They'll probably help JC get some sort of goal, whether it's a U.S. title or eventually beat Rhea Ripley. I don't know. I think that's a little way down the road. Too soon. Definitely for the world title. But JC's going to be a contender. So the hour change won't make any positive difference. The show structure always stays the same. Yeah, very much true. I'm just hoping with the NXT stars coming up, maybe they, like I said, Fatal Influence, for me, they were the one of the biggest standout of SmackDown this past Friday, and I'm looking forward to seeing JC go one-on-one with Charlotte. So we'll see what kind of ring chemistry they had. JC and Rhea had pretty good ring chemistry, so I'm looking forward to that Friday, and that's my two favorite women's wrestlers. So I'm going to be torn, but all right. So we're going to get to the match: Saquon Sugar versus Miles Bourne. So the match starts off with Saquon missing a boot in the corner, and Miles hits several European uppercuts. He loves those European uppercuts, by the way. Saquon then hits a neck breaker and follows it up with a second one. Saquon then misses a drop kick in the corner, and Miles hits a fisherman's X suplex. Miles then hits a gut wrench suplex, and Saquon hits a big, powerful boot. Miles follows it up, gets back in control, hits a power slam, and Saquon goes to the floor. Miles then hits a flip dive onto Saquon and Osiris Griffin. Cutler James. Look at Stampede. Loving this Stampede. Put my girl on up there. She's climbing. JC Jane up to number 34 on my top 100 women's rankings. I love it. She's better than half, so I love it. I would agree with that. I mean, outside on watching many promotions you, so really difficult for me to say. But just from the promotions I do watch, I would at least put her maybe in my top 20. But like I said, you watch way more promotions than me. But top 34 out of 100 is not bad. And I'm sure she'll climb. So shout out to JC Jane. And I'm glad that somebody else sees this as much as I do with JC, because she's busted her ass. Miles hits a flip dive. Yeah, you do. I know. And I mean, you talked about it after the WrestleMania prediction. She's come a long way. She really has busted her ass. And she is so good on the mic. It's not me being biased because she's one of my favorites. I mean, if she sucked, I would just say she sucked. But she got it. I mean, WWE knows it. They heard the crowd reaction. Hopefully it continues. I think as long as they have her with some top faces, then they'll be fine. So JC's gonna be fine. She's definitely a contender for me for that U.S. title, but I think that Blake Monroe and Tiffany is gonna enter her program. I'm pretty sure of it. But JC's gonna be definitely somebody to look out for with Rhea, and possibly Money in the Bank as well. But Sol Ruca is also somebody I have my eyes on when it comes to that. So she'll be doing a contract sign that's coming up Monday on Raw. I always enjoy JGL. She's phenomenal. So Miles is a flip dive on the floor onto Saquon and Osiris. Cutler James then pulls Miles to the floor, but Miles is a punch and he chops Saquon. Saquon then holds on to the ropes when Miles goes for a drop kick. Saquon then hits a crossbody in the corner. Miles then delivers a reverse atomic drop and a clothesline. Saquon then gets to the rope to stop a backslide, and he puts Miles in the rope. Saquon then pulls Miles into the ring post and to the turnbuckles. Saquon then hits a dropkick through the ropes. Saquon then gets on the announce desk while the referee checks on Miles Bourne. Saquon then sends Miles into the announce desk and back into the ring. Saquon then hits several knee drops to the throat, and he gets a count of 2. Saquon then kicks Miles in the corner. Miles then hits several punches, and he avoids a neck breaker, and he gets a near fall with the O'Connor roll on a count of 2. Saquon then goes for another pinfall, but Miles kicks out, and he catapults Miles Bourne's throat into the bottom rope. Saquon then goes for another pinfall, but only gets 2. Saquon then cinches in a reverse chinlock, and he traps the arm of Miles Bourne. Saquon then hits a knee to the back. Saquon punches Miles on the apron, and he hits several cross faces. Miles finally fires back and hits a shoulder in a slingshot sunset flip, but Saquon blocks it. Saquon then misses a knee drop. Miles then hits a hip toss. Saquon then hits a shot to the throat and a knee to the back. Saquon then hits a northern lariat through the rope, followed by a leg drop for a count of 2. Saquon then cinches in a reverse chinlock. Saquon then takes Miles to the mat. Miles delivers several punches to get out of the hold. Very good opening match. Saquon then puts Miles on the turnbuckles and he kicks Miles in the back. But then Saquon goes to the turnbuckles and hits a belly to belly superplex. But Miles Bourne counters and gets a lateral press for a near fall. Saquon then escapes a reverse DDT and goes for another pin. But only gets 2. Miles and gets a roll up, but for 2. A lot of near falls here. Saquon then cinches in a side headlock, and Miles delivers a head scissors. Miles Bourne then gets a backslide for a count of 2. Saquon then kicks Miles and goes to the turnbuckles, but Miles drop kicks Saquon onto the top rope. Miles then hits 2 clotheslines and a European uppercut. Miles then hits a GTR, but then Miles also then hits a fisherman suplex and goes for the pin, but another kick out of Saquon Sugar. So then Dion Lennox climbs up on the apron to distract the referee, and Miles Bourne comes over there and swings at Dion Lennox. Saquon then hits a Northern Light suplex, and he flips it into a drop kick. Phenomenal move right there by Saquon. He's great in the ring. So then the other 2 members of Dark State, Cutler James and Osiris Griffin, then distract the referee, and Dion Lennox goes to the ringside area and gets a chair, and he walks around the ring and acts like he's about to hit Miles Bourne with that chair, but Saquon Sugar comes out and stops him and says, no, like, I'm not going to do it like this. So yeah, definitely dissension. Miles then sends Saquon into Dion Lennox. So there we go. I mean, saw it. The writing's on the wall. And then he hits a back body drop on the floor. Miles then then he gets him back in the ring. He hits a slingshot. Bourne again for the 1, 2, 3. And the winner and still your men's NXT North American champion, Baby Randy Orton's what I call him, the boyfriend of Stephanie Vicor, Miles Bourne. Miles Bourne, but Saquon Sugar 7.55. That's a really good ranking. I enjoyed it. Cam Hendricks is a great addition. I could see him be a potential contender for Miles Bourne NXT North American Championship. Yes. So I've been watching Cam. Obviously he goes by a different name on LFG, or he did the first 2 seasons. That's actually Maxine Dupree's husband. But yeah, he came in after the match. So the winner and the still WWE NXT North American Champion, Miles Bourne. After the match, we see Tristan Angels, which you will see if you watch LFG Season 3. He's a part of the LFG Season 3 cast. He makes his way out and congratulates Miles on his win. He then introduces himself to the fans. Obviously, he's standing out in the, out there with the fans. Tristan says, do not let his looks have you fooled. Tristan Angels then says, he is here as a courtesy that Miles will be seeing more from him in NXT. And then out from behind Miles Bourne, which Bobby just talked about, Cam Hendricks, which is the husband of WWE Raw former Intercontinental Champion Maxine Dupree, then attacks Miles Bourne from behind and hits a Uranagi. So Miles Bourne like Kiana Carver tells him later in the show that the sharks are swimming around. So then we go backstage and we see my favorite now in the women's division, NXT, Kendall Gray with Ren Sinclair, and they talk about the new talent. And then Kalani Jordan interrupts Kendall and Ren and shows up and says she has a problem with the way they are treating Kendall. Obviously, Kalani is not happy with the way they're hyping up Kendall Gray. Kalani then mentions that she made Lola tap, which she did. Kendall and Ren then remind Kalani about what happened at NXT Underground where Lola Vice got that victory back. Ren then challenges Kalani to the speed title, and Kalani says she doesn't need to do it for the title. She then says she wants to embarrass Ren Sinclair, which if they would have done it for the speed title, Kalani Jordan would be your new women's NXT speed champion. But I don't know, is she going up? I don't know. We'll see. I'm looking forward to seeing what Trish and Angel does in the WWE ring. Yes, as well. So Kalani Jordan wants Ren Sinclair tonight. So then we get the entrance of the new, well, not new, but fairly new, NXT Men's Heavyweight Champion Tony D'Angelo makes his way down to the ring. Tony then grabs the mic and starts off by saying, the more this place changes, the more it stays the same. Tony then says the competitors come and go. Everybody's making references to Call Up tonight. Tony then says he has been constant since the day he stepped into NXT, and there's not a man tough enough to kick him off the mountain, including the guy who sent the package, which he received at the end of the show last week. Tony then says we have people attacking Miles Bourne and people coming from LFG and Evolve. Tony then says he knows Keanu is side-eyeing him, which we talked about on Scoop. That's definitely going to be a feud in the summertime. Tony then says he wants to know about the box and he wants to know who sent it. The lights then go out and the entrance hits, and some people I think maybe know who he is at first, but then some don't. But once he uncovers his face, he then it's Evil, obviously, made his NXT debut. He then hands something to Tony, and he takes off the hood, and it's revealed that it is Evil. I've been looking forward to Evil for a while. Like I said, he handed Tony, I think it was a shirt or something like that. So yeah, great debut by Evil. We'll see, what they have going forward with Evil. Obviously, I'm sure it's going to be something with Tony D'Angelo. But then from behind, after Evil hands Tony D the shirt, out comes Tavion Heights, who has kind of been this, I don't know, kind of not still, but kind of like an Olympic, just kind of a super white hot baby face. And I guess maybe he's trying to follow in the footsteps of Miles Bourne. He comes from behind of Tony D'Angelo and attacks Tony and hits a belly-to-belly suplex. Tavion then says he has taken what he deserves. Someone then comes through the crowd and hits a moonsault on Tony D'Angelo as well. I didn't write down what his name was, but I do obviously have it in my notes, but I did write down who it was. So if you guys know who that was that did the backflip off the top on Tony D, you could put it in the comments, obviously. I forgot to write his name down. Just so long as Evil leaves this house of torture nonsense in New Japan that I still have to deal with in New Japan. Fuck my life. Yeah. Hopefully he does. So, I I'm gonna be honest with you. I love Tatum Paxley and I love Shallow Hill together. I think they've been a great combo together. Okay, Will. Yeah, that's right. His name is Will Cruz. Um, you're correct. So he is now on NXT as well. He's the one that did the moonsault. Or Will Cruz, 29 years old, 8-year pro. Interesting. Where did he come from? Because he's not on the ball or LFG. So, but yeah, that move off the top looked phenomenal. So, yeah, looking forward to see what he's gonna do. Like I said, a lot of new people. So there's gonna be a lot of new matches, a lot of new storylines. There, like I said, there are two announced. There are 2 matches announced for next week. We're gonna see Lullabies and Mr. Iguana in a mixed tag match against Izzy Dame and one of the members of the Cullen. And then we're going to see Callie Armstrong, a new bright superstar, which she is on LFG Season 3 as well, go one-on-one with Jada Parker next week on NXT. He is from the Indies. Okay, cool. 8-year pro, though. So like I said, I'm a big fan of Tatum and Charlotte, but I guess they had to do this with Blake going up to the main roster. I don't know. But we see Tatum Paxton and Charlotte Hill. They're at the graveyard together. Tatum's kind of laying there by Blake's, so to speak, grave. Burying Blake. Tatum says she didn't want to do it, but Blake made her do it. Tatum then says she won't hear her voice. And Charlotte says, "Have you heard of the thing called soundproof?" Tatum then says something comes over her when it comes to that NXT Women's North American Championship. Charlotte then says the title has become a part of her and she doesn't want to lose it. Tatum then tells Charlotte he has for me, the biggest match of his career tonight against Ricky Saints. Charlotte then says he set up a virtual world to face Ricky Saints so he would watch all of his matches. Tatum then lays down next to the grave. She hangs out. So, it was an okay segment. It wasn't knock your socks off type thing, but I love Tatum and Charlotte. So, they finally put the Tatum to Blake stuff to rest. So I did see that Blake quote tweeted her on X afterwards. So Birthright to make their way down to the ring, Stampede favorites for the next match of the night. Lexus King then grabs the mic and says he wanted to come out here to cheer for his brothers, but unfortunately EK Prosper has to be on his own tonight because his partner suffered a beatdown. Then the TNA Women's Knockout Champion Ariana Grande, she says to go to the back, and then we see a video showing Dorian Van Doo getting injured. And he's also on LFG as well. So Dorian Van Doo got attacked in the back. Will wrestle mostly in England, but just finished up a run in NOAH. Big boy 6'4", 297. That is a big old boy. So you guys' thoughts on what Nick Khan and Triple H said about WrestleMania 44? You can definitely put that in the comment. Said you're going to be surprised about the location. I saw Andrew Badala posted that it won't be Vegas. Possibly not. But WWE has said that they want Las Vegas to be their home base, but they're already talking about 44, and we're still a year away from 43. So I know Badala posted said it won't be Vegas or Atlanta. So I don't know. A lot of people are saying maybe London. I don't know. I don't personally see it, but could. If Nick Khan's already starting to talk about it, it must be something really big. So, but that would be back-to-back WrestleMania, 43 and 44, not in the U.S. So We'll see. So we get, like I said, Dorian Van Du is injured in the back, but EK Prosper makes his way down to the ring. It's going to be the Birthright, Chance Stack Lorenzo, and Uriah Connors versus EK Prosper and a returning Super Sean Legacy. Good to see him back. So the match starts off with EK attacking Shannon and Uriah. He then super kicks left to the King. Sean Legacy then makes his way out, and he helps EK Prosper, and they send Birthright to the floor. Sean then hits a double stomp to Shannon Stack's back and a drop kick. Sean then avoids a sunset flip, and he rolls through and uses Uriah to kick Shannon Stacks. Sean then delivers a German suplex. Sean then hits several chops, and then goes for the pin, but gets a count of 2. EK then tags in, and he hits a double stomp to the back. EK then sits in a side headlock, and Shannon tags in. EK then hits a rebound backflip and a double drop kick. Shannon then knocks Sean off the apron, and Uriah hits a suicide dive. Shannon then hits a flip dive onto Sean. Shannon then delivers a knee drop for only a count of 2. Uriah Connor tags back in, and he chops EK Prosper. They exchange chops, but Uriah with another chop, and he tags Shannon back in, trying to cut the ring off. They hit a double suplex, and Shannon gets a count of 2. So Shannon then with an Irish whip, but EK delivers delivers forearms to Uriah and to Shannon Stacks. Sean Legacy tags back in, and he connects with back elbows. Sean with a glory buster and a drop kick to Uriah Connors. Sean with a suicide dive, and he also hits the announce table. Sean Legacy goes up with a moonsault, but Uriah rakes the eyes to escape a reverse DDTs, and then Stacks tagged back in and hits a clotheslines Sean Legacy. A high rating tonight from Stampede. Dorian Van Du and EK Prosper, which was actually Sean Legacy and EK Prosper because Dorian got hurt, but versus Birthright, Lex King, Uriah Connors, 7.65. So what was the previous rating? 7.55 for Miles Morris at Going Sugar. So everything has been over 7 of that. Sean Legacy has a ton of potential. Shannon tags in and clothesline Sean. Shannon with the leg drop, and he tags in Uriah. Uriah with the knee drop, and he sends Sean to the turnbuckles and chops him. Shannon tags in, and Uriah with a running boot, and Shannon with a cannonball. Shannon then hits a reverse chinlock, and Uriah tags in and takes over the reverse chinlock. Uriah then sends Sean Legacy to the mat. Uriah then kicks Sean and chops him. Sean fires back, sends Uriah to the apron, and Uriah hits a forearm. Sean then hits a kick, and he sets up for a superplex. Uriah then blocks it, and he goes for a sunset flip power bomb. But Sean blocks it. Sean then hits a moonsault and a reverse sit-down power slam. But then EK and Shannon both get the hot tag in, and EK hits a clothesline and an enziguri to Uriah Connors. EK then hits a drop kick to Shannon Stacks and a tornado DDT to Uriah Connors. EK then hits a springboard moonsault followed by a Michinoku driver for only a count of 2. Shannon then goes for the O'Connor roll, and Uriah hits a kick. Shannon Stacks then hits a flatliner, and Uriah hits a swanton, but Sean Legacy comes in to break up the cover at 2. Shannon Stacks is then sent to the floor by Sean Legacy. Uriah then hits a super kick to Sean. Shannon then tags in, and Sean hits a Spanish fly to Uriah Connors. EK then also delivered with a flying boot to Shannon Stacks. EK then hits a moonsault, and Sean hits a burning hammer into a twisted neckbreaker for the 1, 2, 3. So it was supposed to be EK Prosper and Dorian Van Du, but he was attacked backstage for before they were scheduled to wrestle. But Super Sean Legacy come out, and your winners are Sean Legacy and EK Prosper. They got a victory over Birthright. After the match, Lexus King and Charlie Dempsey attack, and then out comes Tate Wilder. Tate Wilder makes his way out, and he hits a missile dropkick, hits a shooting star press like clothesline in the direction of Uriah and Lexus King. Then officials then come out to separate everyone. So another first time appearance is Tate Wilder. So Tate also has a shit ton of potential. Tate Wilder has arrived. What a crazy night so far. So what did you guys think about Tate Wilder? You guys looking forward to Tate? Tate has a ton of potential. So looking forward to seeing what Tate's going to do on the NXT roster. They're bringing up a lot of men because I feel like that's the part of the NXT that even though they've lost more women in the roster call-ups, they're bringing up more men because I think that's where they're the weakest at on the show. So then we go back. Shout out to at Tyler Hilton, R3M. What's going on, Tyler? Good to see you. How's it going? We then see Thea Hell, and we go backstage. We see all the women back there. We see Skylar Ray, otherwise known as Danny Ray from LFG, Season 2 winner. One of my first LFG follows. Obviously, we had a couple conversations. Is he on the season on LFG? Tate Wilder. I'll have to go back and check the roster, but I believe he is on LFG. We then see Thea Hell sitting in the back and talking to Jada Parker, and they're talking, and Thea wonders who else is coming in. And then, like I said, on Scoop Sunday, she's going to be a big major focal point moving forward. Callie Armstrong, which Callie is also on. I don't know how long she's going to be on LFG Season 3 because Kendall Gray was only on one episode and then they called her up, which it was taped a while back. But Callie Armstrong shows up and says Jada is scared of competition. Jada then says she isn't scared of anyone. Callie then stands up and says, she tells all the women standing around. We also saw Carmen Petrovich back there as well, so looking forward to hopefully seeing her back on the NXT roster as well. Is WWE in a good position, say, if Saudi buy WWE from TKO? I don't know. I don't think they're in a good position, but we'll see. Tate Wilder, 26 career matcher, never wrestled outside of the WWE system. Yeah, I think he's an LFG. He's very green, but looks like he could have some potential for me. Jada then says she isn't scared of anyone. Callie tells the entire women back there in the back. Lesnar's next opponent. If he wrestles again, it will be Gunther. And that's it. So he's either retired or he's wrestling Gunther, and that's pretty much it for Brock Lesnar. Callie tells the whole women that she is the difference maker. Callie then says if she has to go to Jada first, that is how it will happen. It's going down in the NXT women's locker room. A lot of people back there. So then we get the announcement that was announced earlier today on X. Obviously, I wasn't on X all day, so I didn't know about it. I was really busy and tied up today. But we get the announcement that the NXT Premium Live events will be starting to air on CW this summer, and I believe they said it would be the Great American Bash or maybe Heatwave, one of the two. So looking forward to that. They went from Peacock to the one Stand and Deliver on YouTube, and now they will be on the CW. I think NXT is cooking now, but main event needed help. I think NXT is cooking now, but main event need help. Yeah. You know, like I said, the women were going to be fine regardless, even though they had the 5 call ups. But bringing in all these new men from LFG and Evolve, and Evil, obviously. Um, yeah. So NXT is just the next man up. I think NXT is cooking now, but main roster needed help. Yeah, I agree, Tyler, 100%. Main roster, especially SmackDown. Randy Orton final opponent. That's a good one because I don't know how much longer Randy's gonna go. Who knows? I have no answer for that. I don't know how much longer Randy's gonna go, so we'll see. I think he did say well he wanted it to be Cody like a long time ago, but who knows? So we see the announcement of NXT Premium Live events will be starting to air on CW this summer. Looking forward to that. Main event is something wrestlers get a couple of reps in for the most part. Yeah. Yeah, I think he was talking about the main roster. I think he misspoke. Stampede. Is the Hall of Fame worthy? Some I feel like are. Yeah. A couple of them were. I mean, one. I mean, I don't know. If they got picked, I guess they were. So then we see Big Joseph and Booker T talk about the women's NXT title picture. Main roster, they don't get reps. A lot of them don't. A lot of them are still back there in catering. And then they get a 2 hours on SmackDown. Lord have mercy. We see Big Joseph and Booker T talk about the women's title picture. Stephanie McMahon's speech made me sleep. It wasn't that bad, Peter. We see Big Joseph and Booker. Her daughters were out there. It was really good. I enjoyed it. See Big Joseph and Booker T talk about the women's NXT women's title picture and Izzy Dane. Robert Stone is with Tate Wilder, and Tate says he is ready for his shot. Paula Vice tells Robert Stone on the way to the ring that Izzy Dane wants to play games, so she's making her way out to the ring, and she is sure shutting her stuff out there. She is walking with a purpose. She says she's going to call out Izzy if she wants to play games. Well, then says Izzy, they are 2 steps ahead of her, but she feels sorry for Izzy because you can't do anything on your own. She then says, when you do, you will be knocked out once she gets on the mic. She said, Lola then says she is in the ring and she wants everyone to see what she does to Izzy. She then tells Izzy to show up and show her what she's got. I'm just watching stop main roster because Triple H keep copying and pasting over and over. I think NXT is so easy. The main roster 100%. I agree. It's very much rinse and repeat for Triple H. That's why I call him Predictable Paul or very, very much Predictable Paul. And then Triple H loved trilogies. He definitely loved trilogies. So NXT, I mean, a lot of people don't like it. I don't know why, but I don't know. I think it's the best show. I mean, on WWE side for sure. Triple H needs a better AI for his creative. That's fucking hilarious. They use AI on Zarya tonight, which is terrible. I can't believe they did that shit. That was 100% AI. I really hope that they're not. I seen the report from Dave. I really hope that they're not gonna start doing that shit. But I mean, they did it tonight, so Lord have mercy. That was wild. All right, so Lizzie. Well, I mean, sorry, Lizzie. Lola then said she's in the ring. She wants everyone to see what she does to Izzy. She then tells Izzy to show what she got, and then on um the billboard, or whatever, on the screen, Sean Spears appears on the big screen, and he tells Lola. He says, Lola, you must have not thought this out. He then says, if you want to keep that women's NXT title, you need to be one step ahead. He said the Cullen is always one step ahead. And Lola Vice turns around, and Nico and Izzy Dame are right behind Lola Vice. Lola says, it looks like they got her, and out comes Mr. Iguana. Comes out from under the ring to help Lola take care of Izzy Dame. So next Tuesday on NXT, we will have the mixed tag team match. The AAA mixed tag team champions Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana will take on Izzy Dame and one member of the Cullen. And also we'll have Jada Parker against Callie Armstrong next week. So then we go to the back and we see Saquon Sugars, and he says he wants to know what Dion Lennox did out there. Dion then says he was trying to help. Saquon then says he didn't need help. Dion then says he wouldn't call Saquon gold on purpose. Saquon then says he doesn't know what to think. Cutler James says enough. He said, I'm tired of this. Welcome to the Triple GPT era. Yeah, I'm gonna make a tweet about that. New Chat GPT era. Triple H. It's crazy. I hope. I mean, they reported, so we'll see. But I mean, they started tonight on NXT, so I wouldn't doubt it. Color said he's had enough. Color says they tried to do it Dion's way and Saquon's way. It didn't work. Osiris then says they dropped the ball. Color then says they are going to make things right by going to get those tag team championships back. Can Dark State get it together? So then we get the much anticipated debut of Lizzie Rain. She makes her way down to the ring for the next match of the night, which was a really good match, I felt like. She went one-on-one with also somebody from LFG Season 3, Nikita Lyons. Nikita says Lizzie's heavy metal vibe is messing with her frequency, so she will make sure that she doesn't jump the line. So the match starts out with both women locking up, and Nikita slams Rain to the mat. Lizzie Rain then does a kip up, and Lizzie hits a flying back elbow to Nikita Lyons. Lizzie Rain then hits Nikita with another elbow. Nikita fires back and hits Rain with a kick, super kick. Nikita hits a pretty massive super kick. Nikita is now pounding away at Lizzie Rain. Rain then tries to bounce back in the match. Lizzie Rain is charging right back in with a series of rights. She follows it up with a cutter. Lizzie Rain then sends Nikita into the corner, and she delivers a series of monstrous chops. Nikita then hits Rain with another super kick. Nikita then heads to the top rope and launches herself, but Lizzie Rain moves out of harm's way. Lizzie Rain then delivers an uppercut. Rain then hits Nikita with a thunderstruck for the 1, 2, 3. Super impressive debut from Lizzie Rain. I can't wait to see Nikki Blackheart in WWE. I'm just waiting for her, but she's in indie pro wrestling now. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Nikki as well. Megan Walker also in NXT, so I don't know when they're going to debut her. I think I saw her backstage tonight. Lizzie Rain versus Nikita Lyons, 7. Lizzie has so much potential. She got a good match out of Nikita. I agree. Very good match. And shout out to Nikita Lyons for the follow on X as well. So we then see Miles Bourne in the back. He's, I don't know, just getting cleaned up or whatever. He picks up his NXT North American Championship. Turns around and he sees Tavion Heights. And he says, what happened for him to attack Tony? Tavion says he is knocking the doors down. Tavion then says, why can't he do that? Since that is what Miles Bourne did to Ethan Page. Miles then says he caught him by surprise. Tavion then tells Miles he can add him to the list of all the people that are showing up and knocking the door down. And then we get another tease. Keanu Carver, obviously the last 2 weeks with Tony D'Angelo. This week is with Miles Bourne. Keanu Carver shows up and he says he told Tony something last week, and now he's going to tell Miles Bourne. He says there are sharks circling, and he is the Great White. NXT is really wide open for anyone to shine. So then we go back to another backstage segment with the Vanity Project. We see Jackson Drake, and he said things are going well. Obviously, they lost Blake Monroe, but Brad Baylor then says he and Rick was one on his birthday. I believe it was Brad's. Not sure. It was either Brad or Ricky Smokes' birthday, I believe. Brad then says he and Ricky had the tag division on lock. He then says now it is time for Jackson Drake to do it. He then says Jackson has Micah. He can conquer anything. Jasper Troy shows up, gets in Jackson Drake's face, and says Jackson is all talk. He then says at least your boys have the tag titles. He then says maybe you should worry about wrestling and not dating. Jasper then challenges Jasper Drake to a match next week. So that is also official for next week. Jasper Troy will go one-on-one with Jackson Drake. He told him to stay off of Tinder or the dating profile. So, for me, one of the best matches of the night, Kalani Jordan makes her way down to the ring in a non-title match for the women's NXT. It's not for the NXT Women's Speed Championship. Hopefully, Ren Sinclair is okay. Kalani's going to be going one-on-one with Ren Sinclair from Ren QCC, accompanied by the mega superstar Kendall Gray. So the match starts off with Kalani cinching in a waistlock and hitting a takedown. Kalani then cinches in another waistlock and Ren hits a standing switch. Ren and Kalani then alternate covers. Ren then hits a single leg takedown and she begins to work on the leg. Ren then cinches in a hammerlock. There's Stampede's rating. Ren Sinclair versus Kalani Jordan 7.45. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Hopefully Ren's okay. Ren then hits a head scissors and Kalani tries to escape, but Ren maintains the head scissors. Kalani then escapes and she works on the heel. Ren then cinches in a side headlock and then hits a shoulder tackle and Ren gets a count of 2. Kalani then goes for a roll up for herself and gets 2. Kalani then hits a springboard arm drag, then hits a drop kick, another pinfall attempt, but only for a count of 2. Kalani then hits a forearm to the back. Kalani then sends Ren into the turnbuckles and kicks her. Ren then hits several punches and Kalani hits a forearm to the back. Ren then blocks being sent into the turnbuckle and Ren delivers a kick. Ren then hits a shoulder tackle and a leapfrog face plant for a count of 2. Ren then misses a splash into the corner. Kalani hits a forearm to the back and she misses the springboard leg drop when Ren Sinclair moves out of the way. Ren obviously did some sort of damage, or if it's kayfabe, I don't know, but looks like some sort of knee, ankle, something like that. Looks like the knee. Ren delivered a kick and sends Kalani to the floor. Ren then hits a drop kick off the apron. I think maybe this is where she banged her knee up a little bit. Ren then holds her knee, and the referee begins to check on Ren Sinclair. Kendall Gray looks concerned as well. Ren then sends Kalani back into the ring. Ren then goes for the octopus, but then Kalani then comes out of it and hits a backdrop, and then Ren gets a near fall with a sunset flip. Kalani then hits the Irish whip, and she catches Ren out of the corner and drops Ren's knees to the mat. Kalani then kicks the hamstring, obviously the hurt knee. Kalani then hits a knee DT. Still working on that knee. Kalani then grinds the knee on the mat and she works on the leg in the ropes. Kalani then does a step over toe hold and she falls back to the mat. Kalani then also does a step over toe hold. Ren finds a way to fight back. She kicks Kalani to get out of the hold. Ren then delivers several punches. Kalani fights back and hits a kick to the leg, and she hits an atomic drop to the injured knee of Ren Sinclair. Kalani then hits a heel hook. Ren then kicks Kalani away, and Ren gets an inside cradle for a near fall. Ren then hits a sunset flip to counter a backdrop. Kalani then clips Ren Sinclair from behind in that hurt knee. Ren then finds a way back into the match and kicks Kalani to the floor, and Kalani tries to clip Ren again, but Ren leaps over Kalani. So I don't know if she's doing that. I don't know how hurt she really is. Ren then hits several chops, big time chops, like they were loud, and a clothesline. Ren then hits a flying clothesline, and then hits a clothesline into the corner, followed by a butterfly suplex for a count of 2. Kalani then kicks Ren in the leg again, and she gets Ren up. But Ren gets to her feet, and Ren gets an O'Connor roll for a count of 2. Ren then sends Kalani to the apron, and Kalani kicks the knee and hits a slingshot cutter. Kalani then goes up top for a frog splash, but Ren gets her knees up. And Ren obviously at that point goes for another pinfall, but only gets a count of 2. So then Ren tries to cinch in the final wrench, but she releases the hold due to the pain in her leg. Kalani Jordan takes full advantage by hitting a backdrop and a split-legged moonsault for the 1, 2, 3. So Kalani Jordan with a big win over the women's NXT Speed Champion. And she's making her way back to the Gorilla. You can see the referee and Kendall Gray in the ring helping Ren Sinclair get to her feet. So this was the AI thing I was talking about, which it really didn't even look like Sol Ruca. I think they completely botched and ruined this, in my opinion. We'll take a look back at the last woman standing match. Zarya says Sol Ruca was drowning her until she realized who she is. Zarya then says she doesn't make compromises. Zarya then says she burned through you until you evaporated. Zarya then says now that you are gone, she will scorch everyone and everything in her way. So big huge vignette there for Zarya. She looked really creepy, but expect her to get a major push now that Sol Ruca is on. She will be signing her contract Monday on Raw on the main roster. So it is then announced that next week, Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana will face Izzy Dame and Nico Vance. Callie Armstrong goes one-on-one with Jada Parker, and Jasper Troy goes one-on-one with former WWE Evolve Men's Champion Jackson Drake. So Shallow Hill. So we get to the main event of the evening. Shallow Hill makes her way down to the ring for Ricky Saints' last match on NXT, as he will be debuting along with Blake Monroe Friday on SmackDown. So we're going to get WWE LFG Season 2 winner Shallow Hill, who's had some very huge matches over the last 3 months, versus the absolute Ricky Saints. So the match was over with Ricky attacking Shallow from behind, chops Shallow Hill. Ricky then hits several forearms and kicks. Shallow fires back with some punches, but then Ricky hits a knee to the midsection. Shallow then sends Ricky into the corner, and he hits a forearm. Ricky then delivers a back elbow. Ricky then hits another back elbow, and Shallow hits several punches. Shallow then blocks a kick, and Ricky misses an enziguri. Shallow Hill then puts Ricky on the ropes, and he hits several forearms. Shallow Hill then hits a running knee lift to send Ricky to the floor. Shallow Hill then hits a forearm to the back, and he Irish whips Ricky to the apron. But Ricky spins on the apron to kick Shallow Hill. So Ren Sinclair and Kalani Jordan 7.45. Ricky Saints for Shallow Hill 7.25. So let's see what your highest ranked match was. There's a 7.65. So your highest ranked match of the night was Super Sean Legacy and EK Prosper versus Lexus King and Uriah Connors. Everything over 7 though. So Ricky Saints and Charlotte Hill 7.25. So then Ricky reaches under the ring. He attacks a dummy, which I don't know why they did that. Charlotte Hill then hits a cannonball up the steps. Ricky then returns to the ring. Charlotte hits a slam and a fist drop. Ricky then hits a hot shot and he punches Charlotte Hill. Ricky then hits several forearms and a knee drop for a count of 2. Ricky then hits an elbow to the back of the head. Charlotte then follows up with several punches. Ricky then delivers an Irish whip and a kick into the corner. Ricky then hits a snap mare and a kick to the back. Ricky then begins to do some sort of stretch to Charlotte. Charlotte then hits several punches and an Irish whip, but Charlotte is sent into the turnbuckles. Ricky then hits a drop kick and goes for the pinfall, but only for a count of 2. Charlotte Hill then hits several punches and Ricky fires back. Charlotte then catches Ricky on a crossbody, but Ricky countered with a DDT for a count of 2. It was a really solid show, good flow, nice amount of in-ring content. The 3 hours was blended really well. 2 hours, you meant, but yes, I 100% agree. Good flow, nice amount of in-ring content. You know, not as they had a few backstage stuff, but it didn't last very long. Not very many promos, stuff like that. So very solid show. Ricky then kicks Hill and Hill blocks a tornado DDT and hits a tilt-a-whirl slam on Ricky. Ricky then hits a flying forearm and Hill hits several punches and a face plant. Charlotte Hill then hits a power slam for a count of 2. Ricky then hits a jawbreaker and Charlotte Hill hits a headbutt. Charlotte then goes for a reverse senton, but he misses. Ricky then sends in a sleeper and body scissors. Charlotte Hill then gets to his feet, and he sends Ricky to his feet. Ricky then ultimately hits a spear, which everybody now is using a spear, for a count of 2. Ricky and Charlotte then begin to exchange forearms and punches. Charlotte then hits a pop-up forearm and hits a reverse senton for a count of 2. Charlotte then goes up top, and Ricky pushes the referee into the ropes. And that ultimately puts Charlotte Hill in a very precarious situation, if I may say. He landed on the wrong area up top. So Ricky goes to the turnbuckles for a superplex and he hits it, but he only gets 2. Ricky then sets up for old school and Charlotte Hill kicks the rope to do the same thing to Ricky. He then lets Ricky ride the top rope. Shaking the top rope, Charlotte Hill then kicks Ricky to the floor. Ricky Saints and hot shots Charlotte Hill into the ring step and hits Rochambeau on the floor. Ricky then gets a chair, is going to bring it into the ring, and the referee takes it away. Charlotte Hill then hits a punch, and then Charlotte hits a move, a drop toe hold, a drop face buster or whatever into that chair, and then hits a suplex into a reverse cutter for the 1, 2, 3, and the winner, and for me, in my opinion, the biggest win of Charlotte Hill's very short career in WWE and NXT. Obviously, he was the LFG Season 2 winner, but he defeated Ricky Saints in what was Ricky Saints' last match on NXT. So the last segment, we head to the back. Tony D'Angelo storms in there to talk to Shawn Michaels. He tells Shawn Michaels that Keanu Carver is right about the shark circling him and his NXT championship. Shawn Michaels then responds by telling him that if he wants the chaos, he can have it, given that he's the NXT champion. And Tony D said he welcomed the chaos, and he said, "Let's freaking go." he is ready for it, and the show comes to a close. So, repeating what Stampede said, obviously, NXT, another phenomenal show. They rebounded really well from the 8 call-ups. A lot of new faces. Gonna take me a few weeks to get accustomed to all these new people, but we're gonna keep firing. Obviously not very many views right now. I think I'm around 50, but that's okay. We're gonna keep firing away and plugging away on NXT. A lot of the big stars are called up, but NXT is probably my favorite show right now. I love LFG, but it's super short, but definitely a great show tonight. Next week, like I said, we will see Jasper Troy go one-on-one with Jackson Drake. Jada Parker goes one-on-one with Callie Armstrong. And then Nico Spears and Izzy Dame are going to be facing Lola Vice and Mr. Iguana, the AAA mixed tag team champions, in a mixed tag team match next week on NXT. So let's do some shout outs real quick. Shout out to everybody from DWE as well. Like I said earlier, make sure you give Talk It Up Podcast a follow on X and on YouTube as well. Director Red, Walter Gray, After Sun Podcast, and our 2 newest members of the DWE team. Shout out to Stampede. We'll see you. I'll talk to you tomorrow, obviously, but definitely we'll see you next Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Eastern for the WWE Backlash Prediction Show. Shout out to Bobby, as always. Good to see you again. Missed you Sunday. And who else was in the comments? Shout out to Tyler. Good to see you as well. Shout out to Peter Anthony. I believe that is it in the comments. I had quite a bit of comments tonight, so thank you guys so much. Those comments on YouTube, you guys may not realize it. The X views are great, but ultimately, when you're running a YouTube channel, the YouTube views on your streams mean a lot, and obviously, so does the comments and the likes. So if you guys did watch the stream tonight live, please make sure you hit that like button on the stream, and thank you so much for the comments as well. Just like I said, quick couple short announcement. Thank you guys again so much for the ones that tuned in to the WWE LFG Season 3 Episode 1 recap. I was definitely not expecting the turnout. Obviously, I think I had over 200 between Talk It Up Podcast's X page, my X page, and then I checked today and I had, I think, 112 views on YouTube, and I only have 220 subscribers, so that's well over half, which I don't know if that was all subscribers, but 112 views on the first episode. Thank you so much for that. And then next Wednesday night, make sure you guys have that notification bell turned in. We'll have a full panel next Wednesday night at a week from tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. We will be doing the WWE Backlash Prediction Show. So you guys make sure to tune in to that. And like I said, I plan on doing something. I'm going to talk to Miami, Stampede, several others. It's been a big part of the journey for me through this YouTube. My 1 year anniversary will be coming up in August. So I do plan on doing some sort of like anniversary show or something like that, where I can get a few people on. We can just kind of, talk about the year and, development and stuff like that. Just kind of a celebration for me personally, for hitting the 1 year mark coming up in August. And also my goal is to get to 300 subscribers. I'm at 220. So please, if you guys have any friends, or if you see my YouTube page, obviously it's pinned at the top of my X page, please make sure and share that with your friends. Anybody that you think enjoys at least 5 days a week of wrestling content, and next week will be 7 days. So pay-per-view weeks, there's always 7 days of wrestling content. I gotta find Peter's comment because it's still showing up on the screen. Where is it? Yeah, hopefully you guys, this has been your NXT recap show, live Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the outro, and I'll be back to tell you guys where you can find me on my socials, and what I have coming up for you guys for the rest of this week.
Wrestling has more than one royal family.
There are a lot of podcasts out there, but only one with this kind of energy.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let show recap prediction sports
In one podcast.
Welcome to EVP Show Recap Prediction Sports. Let go.
All right, this has been your NXT recap show live here on the EVP show Tuesday, April 28th, 2026. Thank you to the few that came in. I think we're around 50 views or something like that, which sometimes I get 100, 200 for NXT. Just really depends. There is other streams that's going on. I know JD. I don't know if you like people like him, don't like him. He gets like fucking 3,000 views on his Tuesday show with Saw Monster. I believe Michael from Kicking Out at 2 is also live, or he was live. So there's a lot of streams going on tonight. So thank you for the ones that tuned in. Make sure if you did tune in on YouTube, please make sure you hit that like button. That'll definitely help me out as well. And if you go back and watch the stream, and if you guys want to leave some comments on some of the matches I talked about, I'm always on YouTube pretty much checking my stuff. So if I see your comments, I definitely will go back in there and answer them for you. So, but as far as where you can find me on my socials, scrolling across the bottom of the screen, all my links are in my bio. And you can find my YouTube page on any of these socials. Obviously, I'm not giving out my Facebook information, but my link is in my bio on Facebook. But as far as X, if you are not following me on X and you're looking for me on X, you're living under a rock because I post all the time. It's at EVPCJP. Sorry. And once you follow me, I'll follow you back. You just go to the very top of my page, and my YouTube page is pinned at the top of my X page, and that's at EVPCJP. Please, if you follow me on X, please hit that. Just retweet that YouTube link. I mean, it just goes a long way. There's been probably about over 105, 110K views just on the YouTube page. I've had it pinned up there, and I'm gonna keep it pinned up there. So it's also on my bio as well. My Instagram page I turned into a business account, so my link is like bold. Also on Threads as well. You can find me on Instagram at EVPCJP. Follow me there on Instagram. You'll see all my videos that's getting in preparation for the upcoming streams. But you will see my YouTube link pinned there as well. If you're looking for me on TikTok, you can find me at Brady the Goat 21. Again, that's at Brady DA Goat 21. Not THE, at Brady DA Goat 21. Same thing about Instagram. You can find my YouTube link in my bio, and also a lot of all videos in regards to the next upcoming stream. Last but not least, please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Like I said, if you got friends and family, make sure if you guys can help me out, share the YouTube link. It's pinned on all these social platforms. Help me get to 300 subscribers by SummerSlam. I do plan on doing something to try to help get more subscribers. I'm just going to talk to some people, try to run some ideas, see what I could do. But I'm 80 subscribers away from 300. So please hit that like and subscribe button. If you're not already subscribed, you can go to the search bar and type in at the EVP show. And once you're there, hit that subscribe button. You'll see it tonight. I think it's the 904th video that's been posted on the EVP show. So almost at 1,000 videos, which is absolutely phenomenal. That's a lot of videos I put out. That's a lot of work. a lot of shorts. I haven't been doing a whole lot of shorts lately because StreamYard's kind of cut me down to only, I can only do like 6 a month unless I go in and manually do them, and that's by the time I get done streaming, that's super late. I definitely do one for the Backlash prediction show. Maybe do one for Raw. Coming up next week, we'll see. Definitely doing for the bigger shows like the prediction shows, the recap shows, the PLEs, and if they have like a big Raw or SmackDown or NXT or something like that. But not gonna be doing them every day. So, but there is a lot of shorts on there. The WrestleMania 42 prediction show shorts are on there as well. Also, my interview I did a couple weeks back with the lovely Mona. The shorts are on there as well. So make sure you check that out. But yeah, if you're looking for it in the search bar, to type in at the EVP show, and it will pop up. 220 subscribers, so we need 80 more, guys. By SummerSlam, we can definitely do it. So, what I have coming up for you for the remainder of this week. Tomorrow, I am off. Stampede, I will be getting in contact with you. I'll call you on X so we can kind of go over this AEW thing, see how we can plan it out, and then I'll bring it up to Miami in the meeting Friday. As far as like either combining it with TNA or just doing away with TNA all the way together and just making an AEW show on Thursdays. We'll see, but we'll talk tomorrow. But tomorrow I am off, but I will be back Thursday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time for your TNA recap show. And then join me Friday night as JC Jane, accompanied by Fatal Influence, goes one-on-one with the Queen, Charlotte Flair, for the SmackDown recap show at 11:30 p.m. Eastern, live here on the EVP show Friday night. Saturday I'm off again because next week's a super busy week. 7-day stream next week is PLE week. But Saturday I will be off as well. And then Sunday is the second week of Doubleheader Sunday. First part, Sunday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Tune in live for Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP as we talk everything from WWE. We're going to talk about the CW, NXT stuff. Maybe some of the people that showed up on NXT tonight. What happens with Blake and Ricky Saints once they make their SmackDown debut. Backlash stuff. Saturday night's main event coming up May 23rd, and then Clash in Italy at the end of May as well, where WrestleMania 44 could be headed. And that will be Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Sunday Night Scoops with the EVP, episode number 19. And then come back later on Sunday night. You guys absolutely obliterated and killed it. Helped me so much. With LFG season 3, episode 1, you guys we hit over the 100 view mark on my YouTube channel. So tune in this Sunday for the second half of Doubleheader Sunday at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time for LFG season 3, episode number 2, and that will conclude my week. And next week we have a 7-day week with 8 streams next week, since I do doubleheader on Sundays. So once we get closer to the end of this week, I'll kind of go over next week's schedule with you guys. But it is a full 7-day week next week with the Backlash Prediction Show next Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. So make sure, if you are subscribed, hit that notification bell so that you know when I go live. Shout out to everybody that tuned in tonight. This has been your NXT Recap Show live on the EVP show, April 28, 2026. I am the EVP from the EVP show and the golden boy of DWE. DWE is the place to be. I won't see you guys live tomorrow, but catch me back here live Thursday night at 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time for your TNA Recap Show. Enjoy your Wednesday, and I will see you guys Thursday. Good night, everyone.